We are on location with Dan Gallo, local celebrity and arm wrestler. Dan, great to meet you.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah. So you grew up in Prince George and you are known probably for being like a championship arm wrestler, right? That's probably how people know you.
Yeah.
And I know you have at least 20 provincial championships. Is that correct?
Yeah, 20 or 21 now, yeah.
Okay.
Right around there. It's been a few years since I've been out. Actually, I tore my bicep off and had to have it reattached a few years ago.
Oh, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But first, we're definitely going to talk about that a little more. But with having 20 championship arm wrestlers, you're not that old. Or
No, I'm turning 41 this year.
41. So you've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, just over 20 years now.
Okay, let's talk about high school a little bit, because you must have gotten into it around then.
Yeah, I love playing rugby. Like I say, I've always been athletic, and there was something we always did. Like we were always in our high school had a gym upstairs, tucked away in the corner, so we were always in the back there working out, and we would always just arm wrestle over a school desk. And then where I was working at the time, like I've always been in the heavy duty industry, but I was working at the time, you kind of arm wrestle some of the mechanics, right? Think you're strong, and they had a tournament when I was either 14 or 15 in high school, and I ended up winning it. And then as soon as I graduated high school, like I played rugby till I graduated, and as soon as I graduated, I ended up meeting up with Vern Martel, one of the guys I was working with at the time. He's like, "Oh, you got to go meet Vern," So I went over and met Vern, and I was started up ever since then, practicing with him. I spent about 2 years training with Vern, 2 or 3 years before I ended up going to any tournaments. 2 years for sure.
Wow. So you were training with Vern when you were in high school?
Well, just after high school, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That must have been exciting for you.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the first time I met Vern, I mean, he's not a very big guy, right? Like, he's a little guy. He's only got the one arm. You kind of like, you kind of underestimate the guy a little bit, but and then you kind of take a look at everything he's done, and it's like, holy cow, right? You've been able to do this. And then, the first time you grip up with him, it was an immovable object. Like, it's not like he's got these giant hands or anything. It's just nothing ever moved.
Yeah. Yeah, Vern's great. He invited me over one time, took me on a tour through his garage, and showed me some of the equipment he trains with.
Yep.
And one of the pieces of equipment was like a ball that you grab, and it's got a rope on it, and you pull it down,
Yep.
like an arm wrestling motion. And I just couldn't believe the strength that he had. Like you said, he's like a stone, right?
Yep.
Him and I got on the table, and I tried with all my might. I couldn't budge the guy, like not even a little bit.
You wouldn't have been the only one.
Yeah. But it's like, it's amazing, because you would think you there'd be some sort of give there, right? There'd be something, but there's not. He's just so strong. And with Vern, it's like technique, right?
Yep.
He's got a technique there that he can fight you without like really fighting you, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, especially the use of that one arm. I mean, that one arm and hand is so well developed, right? Like it was something else.
It's unbelievable, yeah.
And it still is. I mean, Christ, he's in his 60s now, and it's still. I mean, I always took a big inspiration from Vern because, I mean, obviously, having the use of one arm, he's got a disability there, but to see him still go through that, still win, and then end up having cancer as well. Coming back again, still winning, and then he's still an animal, right? Like it's an absolute beast.
Yeah, that's crazy. So what was it like training with him at that age? That must have been something.
Well, every week was the same thing. You're doing good, and then you just sit there on the table looking at you.
Yeah.
Right? It was week after week of that, right? It turned into month after month of trying to move an immovable object, right? He would show you the techniques and stuff like that, but like what he would kind of do. But the thing is, like, it wouldn't matter how much I train, and even now, as strong as I am, his it's just him, right? Like his technique and hand was so well developed for his style.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And so with you training with him like that, you must have, sure, you couldn't move him, but you must have noticed you'd go back to work and you would arm wrestle a mechanic, and you'd be like, oh, I can move this guy.
I progressed very fast, very early on. And it was because of that, right? Like, you don't get better by training with somebody who's normally, like, not as strong as you were, right? That's just the way it is, right? If you want to get better, you got to be with people who are normally better than you, right? At what they're doing, right? Either, it doesn't matter what it is. You know, if you want to get to that level, you're like, why are they at this level? You keep going, right? And it was that, right? It was weeks and weeks and months, and then year after year. And then all of a sudden you start seeing like this massive strength increase and then technique increase as well because of that.
So how did it progress from then on? Because you must have started competing and then just stayed in it all these years, right?
Yes. I mean, arm wrestling is kind of a way out. And anybody who kind of pushes themselves, I believe, in what they're doing, normally there's a reasoning behind that. And it was definitely a good out for me. The training part kept me out of trouble. And the competing part, yeah, earlier on it was always about winning. Like I always just wanted to win. And once you get a taste of that, like when I won my first nationals in 06, I mean, that was a big, like, holy cow jump moment. And then winning multiple nationals over the years, yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about that first nationals win.
Yeah, that was down in Kelowna.
Kelowna, yeah.
Yeah. And then actually, I ended up getting second at provincials that year to the same guy I beat in the finals. He's from BC as well. And yeah, I mean, the tournaments a lot of times end up being kind of where the draw sheets match up too, right? So if you got two guys who are like known to be top level guys and say they match up earlier, sometimes neither one of them end up placing or don't do as well as they could have, right? Somebody else will end up going through.
And that's because you just wear them down so much.
Yeah. If you end up in a hard, if you end up in a hard battle right away, that can really offset, you know, like kind of your plans that you had going for the tournament.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember Vern talking about that a few times too. Yeah.
Right. I mean, unless you're actually like at such high a level where, I mean, which some of these athletes are, especially like the European guys and stuff. And if you're at such a high level, not quite as important, right? But for guys you're not quite at that level yet, and yeah, you match up, that's the way she goes sometimes, and you gotta learn to take those losses.
Oh yeah. Let's talk a little bit about home life. Are you married? Do you have kids? Or is there...
Oh yeah. Me and my wife have been married a long time now, and we don't have any kids yet, but we do have pretty much a zoo in the house.
A zoo?
We call it the zoo anyway, but there's 3 big aquariums in the basement. We got lots of like bishers and lungfish and eels, and then upstairs we got like a 4-foot tegu. It's a big lizard.
4 feet?
4 feet, yeah. Wow. He's like a little puppy dog, right? Like he'll literally, when I feed him a lot of times, he'll sit in my lap and I spoon feed the thing.
A 4-foot lizard sits in your lap?
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what attracted me to him. Like tigers especially, because they're very personable lizards. Like they can be aggressive, but yeah, they're not overly, right. Like it's not a complete hunter in the wild. Like they're kind of like more like a scavenger, kind of like garbage can. Like he eats everything, right? And he's pretty chill. So.
Oh yeah, and a bunny. So you've got a lizard, you got a bunny, you've got Thor, you've got all these fish, eels.
We also got Scooty, our tortoise. Yep. He's definitely got a lot of attitude, a little boy there. They don't get very big, like Herman tortoises aren't very big, but full of attitude, right? Little battle tank around the house, runs into everything, and you put him in the backyard, he just beelines. And then we also have an Indonesian blue tongue we've had for, oh Christ, he's about 12, 13 now. And we got a couple gliders. One glider now, actually, the other one passed away, and the other one's kind of on its way out. They're about 13 now, we figure. We got them secondhand, right? So they weren't as babies when we got them. And then we also have a big boa constrictor, just at 7 feet.
Boa constrictor?
Yep.
7 feet?
Yeah. Supposedly a male. I haven't, I didn't get him as a baby too. He's, you know, the lady who sold him to us was kind of getting a little leery because he's getting bigger, right? So he's supposed to be a male, and we should be looking maybe top out about 8 feet. But I've also heard, this is kind of, he'll be what he'll be. But I've heard he can get all the way up to about 12, 13, which, I mean, that's quite a variance in there. But, I mean, he's a boa, so he's not going to be huge, right? But even the size of him now, if he gets wrapped around your leg, sometimes you need somebody else to give him a hand getting off. Put it that way.
No kidding?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What made you gravitate towards animals like that?
I've always been interested in exotics, and I always just love being around animals.
Yeah. Just kind of like feel like something different than the everyday, or?
I've just always liked animals. I've never really thought too much about that. I've always had more of a thing with animals than I've had people over the years in my experience. So
yeah.
it's such a rewarding thing being around them and watching them too, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it doesn't give you quite the affection like a dog or a cat would, but it's definitely a very neat experience.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit more about the early days arm wrestling.
Okay.
I want to get kind of a feel of your progression kind of into, tournaments, because with you being starting so young, right? And then getting into those tournaments, early on and still progressing towards it. Like there must have been, like you must have seen everything at an event, at events and at different matches, right?
Yep.
Like, so tell me some of the things that you've seen that kind of really impressed you at tournaments. Like as far as people go.
Well, once again, honestly, Vern, because the first few years, I mean, Vern, like I started, and Vern was still cleaning house on everybody, before he, ended up with the kind of cancer and stuff. But just watching him go, right? I mean, literally, especially like when I started, it was, here's Vern who weighs less than almost everybody. He's like a 150-pound guy. And then he enters all the weight classes and wins them all. And it's like, how? How is this possible, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, like I say, that overdeveloped hand. And I mean, people give you those grippers and stuff. And I mean, it's not like Vern's hand had a massive like crushing power, just nothing ever moved, right? And you get to a tournament, it'd be the same thing, It wasn't bad for guys in his weight class, you can't move them. But when you see a guy who outweighs him by, 90, 100 pounds, sometimes more, and Vern just sits there like this, yep.
Unbelievable, eh? And then you think of like the energy expenditure, right? And if he's competing in other weight classes, he's dealing with that way more than...
Well, that's the thing. If a guy's that good, and once again, he was that good, and you pull those multiple classes like that, a lot of times you're not getting a break. Like, if you only pull one class, a lot of times you get at least a little bit of a break in between matches. So, if everything goes well, right? But when you're pulling multiple classes, like, okay, here we go, and just whap, keep getting people down, right?
Yeah. I guess for people listening who don't know Vern, he's known as the one-arm bandit.
Yes.
We already mentioned he's got one arm. He lost it in a motorcycle accident, I believe.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's arm wrestles without the ability to have another arm
to hold on to that peg, yeah. So he'd always wrap his leg around, and then, like I say, his whole body would go as one motion. And that's one thing I always, you watch Vern, he wrap his leg around, and you grip up, and he would always take a fair grip. That was the thing with Vern too. Like, a lot of times in a tournament, everybody's fighting for, a grip, right? Mm-hmm. And Vern, he'd always grip, and it was always like a solid grip, light grip, always a fair grip. And just the way he went, it would just suck you inside, and that was it, just right through you.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I noticed, like, without the ability to use another arm, he uses his legs, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anybody try and like replicate what Vern does with his legs?
Well, lots of people wrap their leg around the peg, right? Because you can really pivot off. If you're strong, if you wrap your leg around the one there, then the whole body can pivot off, right?
Oh, so that's...
Right? Because you end up using your whole body. If you just try and utilize your arm there, you're losing out on a lot. Like, the body has so much to play in it, right? You use everything in one motion to get her done as quick as you can.
Did you ever have to compete against him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? That's a normal thing? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few losses I took in the day.
Yeah. Have you beat him?
Yeah, I got a few wins on him there, yeah.
Oh, good. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I chalk it up as luck a little bit of hard work there too, but
yeah.
I mean, that was a long time ago. It's crazy how fast time goes too, thinking about it. But
yeah. Has he been mentoring you all these years, or have you...
No. Like, Vern was around for quite a bit of time in the early years, and then I kind of started doing my own thing.
Oh, yeah.
Vern ended up moving away for a while, so then I kind of took over didn't take over, I don't want to say it like that. Kind of came out wrong. But kind of opened up the basement there to have people come over and train. And kept it going for a while. Then Vern moved back. I mean, I just have a small basement, right? So we ended up going back over to Vern's house for a while there, and then I kind of just do my own thing most of the time now. I got, Jacob Lee, the one we call Arnold there, he was just under 15 when he first started coming over.
Oh, yeah.
And he's already got 6 national titles. So he's pretty much trains with me every day.
Wow.
And him, he's a big reason why I got to keep pushing myself, because, at how hard he works, the level is the gap is now closed.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He doesn't like to think so, but that's the part of being the older guy now, that I can feel the gap closing.
Yeah, for sure, right?
If you don't stick with it, like it starts going away fast. I mean, it does come back a little bit, I find, but a guy's got to really be on it every day, right? If you want to keep up.
No kidding, really.
And I mean, I really noticed that, especially like with Jacob there, right? Watching, and that was actually one of the greatest things that I can say. Like, I always, for earlier times, loved winning, and then it became about watching. Not so much watching, but well, yeah, I guess watching and really experiencing him go through that kind of thing, and finally watching him win his first nationals. Like, he was 16 when he won his first national title. We flew over to Halifax, and I ended up going undefeated both arms in my weight class in nationals that year, and he ended up winning his first nationals that year. And I was literally more excited watching him win his first than I was even winning mine. Like, it was such an amazing thing watching him getting to experience that, right?
And how old is he?
Oh, he was 16,
16,
turning
yeah.
17 then.
Yeah, how old is he now?
He's gonna be 26 this year, I believe.
Wow. Okay, so he's been training with you like that for 10 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny story. His mom got a hold of me, asked if she could bring him over, and I'm like, sure. You're bringing over like a 14-year-old kid to a guy's basement, but okay. It was just kind of strange, but her husband there, Al, actually was a mechanic I worked with, and then my boss when I was a kid pushing broom at a shop in town here, right? So he's known me since I was a little kid too. Not a little kid, but like, teenager there.
Oh yeah.
So small world.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. With him being like 14 years old and you being approached by him, was he already like an arm wrestler? Or did he just kind of...
People want to talk about genetics, and he was just a little guy. He had almost no muscle there. Just I'm not saying that to be mean, but he was just small. He's just little, and I say we because I whipped him pretty hard, and I am like, my basement. I have no problem having people train with me, but I expect them to work hard, right? As hard as I work, at least, right? And he did, and he pushed himself beyond easily what his other body would have been capable of doing, right? And you see him now, and I was like, wow. I mean, he cleans house at his weight class right now.
Oh yeah.
So I think the next time he goes to nationals, we're going to be jumping up weight class.
Oh yeah.
So I feel bad for anybody
Nice,
who's going to have to
nice.
go against him. Like I say, we train every day, and I get up in the morning still, even though I've been laid off, to make sure I'm training harder and harder, because that gap is closing, right? And I get it. There is going to become a time here, hopefully not till a few more years goes down the road, but that gap is going to completely close. So he keeps me on my toes. And then his actually another good friend of ours, Jacob, Jacob Cundy there, he's been coming over training as well and growing quite fast, but he's got more of a body type like I do. Like the way I'm built, I hang on to body fat in a hurry, but I build muscle very, very easily, and Jacob's kind of that way too, the other one. And watching him, like, it's like, holy cow, like these young guys are really keep me on my toes.
Oh yeah, that sounds fun. It sounds like a fun group of people.
It is, yeah. Well, I mean, they all work hard, right? Like they both of them have a work ethic like none other for training.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna just ask this. Guy like myself, like skinny little arms. If I came to you and said, I want you to help me learn to arm wrestle. I just want to beat some guys that I work with, right? How long would it take a person to really notice a huge change in their abilities to arm wrestle?
Honestly, it would depend on how hard you're willing to work.
Yeah.
I mean, if a guy's grinding daily, you can notice a change within months. I would say a good 3 to 5 months you'll start noticing, especially if you're training properly. Because most guys don't dedicate. I mean, arm wrestling training specifically isn't usually the most funnest workouts. But if you're specifically training like that, you will gain that kind of power fast.
Yeah. How different is it, like your workouts compared to like just hitting the gym and lifting weights?
Well, I normally do like on my Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I normally start out with like an hour of my free weights and my biceps. Hammer curls have always been my big thing. And then triceps, and then my hands. It's kind of spend an hour doing that, and then the next hour usually ends up going into specific like isometrics, pronation training. More hand training, of course, because hands is the number one thing.
Grip, like
holding strength.
Oh yeah.
And you stop it. And that was the one thing I always took away from Vern, right? Like his hand strength, not crushing, but that holding power, right? So open hand strength, right? And that ability to not be turned over. So pronation train, but static. So you're sitting there, you're holding everything, and then be able to crank it down in, right?
Oh yeah. What happens when you meet up with somebody who arm wrestles the same as you versus somebody who's like totally different?
Well, the way I pull is kind of unorthodox, so I haven't ran into too many guys who do that. But when guys are, with any luck, if they're better or the same, you got to change up your technique on the fly, right? So you have to be well rounded. A guy has to kind of have what they do, but you also got to be able to kind of jump in and do other things too. But on the fly, like you don't want to overthink it. Like I'm always trying to go by feeling, right? Sometimes you got to plan out. Like so, if you're, pulling a guy that you've never pulled before, and you kind of watch how his style is and stuff like that, to give yourself a bit of an idea. But when it comes to like actually being at the table, like it's gotta be like that.
Oh yeah. What are some of like the hardest things about being in a match? Like, okay, so there's that you need to go like right off the go, right? And your opponent is going too. So now what happens if you're both like pretty much equally matched, equal strength, and you're just fighting each other and you're not going anywhere? Like what happens then?
Yeah. Hopefully you're in a decent position that doesn't wear you out too bad.
Is that when you're kind of burning all your energy?
Yes, and you gotta be able to kind of, if you can get to a position that's comfortable for you and you can sit and wait without burning too much energy, right? Like certain guys everybody's built a little different, so certain guys have positions where they can kind of sit and wait, and if you can just breathe in that position and wait it out, and it doesn't burn you out too bad, you might have a solid chance.
So breathing. So are you holding your breath? Or you?
I do. I try to breathe.
You try to
try
breathe?
to breathe. Yeah. It's like when we're doing heavy holds in the basement, static holds. You try and breathe.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It must be hard to like. You want to probably hold your breath and push, right?
Yeah. If you're not, yeah. I mean, it's easier said than done, though, right? I mean, ready going in a tournament, sometimes you're not always thinking, but breathing is very important to try and keep everything going so you don't pass out.
Yeah. Have you ever seen anybody pass out in a match?
Oh Christ! My last nationals there, I damn near died.
What?
Oh yeah.
What happened?
Literally, I ended up getting a third with actually my arm I had the surgery on. But in my right arm, I ended up in a massive match with a guy, and like we were both all out and a deep hook, and back and forth, and all of a sudden my eyes rolled up in my head, and that was it.
Really?
Yeah. I ended up having to wear a heart monitor for like a few weeks and get everything all checked out.
Oh man, do you know what happened?
The guy called it, I can't remember what the name of it, some kind of like little attack where he figured my heart kind of just did a like on and off kind of a thing quickly.
Oh jeez. Oh man.
Right? Because I mean we're going full out, right? And yeah, I've never had anything like that happen. Like even in training, the way we go, but.
Oh, holy cow! Did you get a video of it or anything? Were you able to?
Somebody did. I didn't. I didn't get to see the video. I just kind of eyes back in the head, and there we go.
Oh no! Oh geez, that must have been scary. Well, especially you. You probably did. You lose consciousness and kind of wake up?
Well, I kind of remember falling back, and then they ended up putting me in a chair, and then, yeah.
Oh.
That's okay.
And that was at a nationals.
That was at nationals in Quebec. Yeah.
Oh man. That's rough. Huh.
But I mean, like I say, that one was okay because this is like the arm I had my bicep reattached on after having it tore off. I ended up getting third there.
Oh, okay.
So.
Let's talk about that. Okay. Did that happen during an arm wrestling match then?
Yep.
Or?
Yep. Actually, my left arm has always been my better arm, which, like I say, is kind of weird. When me and my wife went down to Vegas for Worlds, that's when we got married down in Vegas there in 2010. For when they had WAF there, the World Arm Wrestling Championships. I ended up getting 6th place with my left arm, and I was pretty stoked about that. And like I say, my left has always been my good arm, right? So, which is kind of goofy because I've had more injuries to this. Like I've dislocated this wrist, I had this wrist blown right out, flopped over. Now having my bicep tore off. But my bicep tear happened at 2 years ago at provincials. Ukrainian. I can't pronounce his last name. First name Alexander, absolute beast. And the crazy part is, I mean, he's like, from what I was told, he was a European champion and Ukrainian national champion. So like I say, it's another level, right? And he's like a 150-pound guy, so you're looking at him like, man, you're not very big, but the amount of power he's able to generate, and we were straight up and down. That was like, he beat me the first match, and then we came back through, so we're in the semifinals there, straight up and down, and being that even, I felt a bit of a pop, and I didn't think too much of it. I was like, okay, whatever. But I obviously I can't pull now, right? So dropped out of the tournament, and then about 2 hours later, maybe a little bit longer, like the pump had going away, and I'm laying in the hotel room bed, and I'm looking down, and like, there's a problem here, right? And the long head of the bicep had torn off, and it was down here, so I had a big ball of bicep down here.
Oh, ouch.
It didn't hurt too bad. But the good part is they got me into surgery right away. Like, we drove back up on Monday. Tuesday I went to see the surgeon, and on Saturday I was in the hospital.
Cool. And so, like you said, torn bicep, wrist problem. What, like dislocated wrist?
Yeah, I ended up in a match. This was in Ottawa years ago, and my wrist popped out, then popped back in and flopped out. And that took months to heal.
Like during the match?
Yeah,
like,
I ended up in the straps, and I had control, and it felt good. Buddy got up on top of the table, flopped the wrist over, and drove like this. Whoa. And my wrist kind of just popped out and clicked right over.
Oh, jeez.
And yeah, that took months and months to heal.
Yeah, anybody who's successful or good at what they do, they push themselves. And
well, that's the thing. Most people give up, I find, and a lot of people I've met, they get, they give up, because it's hard work to want to always be a competitor. And that's one thing I've learned over the last few years. It's not always about, years ago it was always about winning. Not so much now. It was honestly more about watching other people win. It became, like I say, watching Jacob win. It was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. Training other people and watching them succeed. But honestly, just trying to be my best. Like, and I understand the fact that, like, I'm never going to be as good as the Kazakhstan, young guy who started out when he's 10 years old and he's 18 years old and he's already bigger than I am and he's breaking people winning worlds, right? Like, it's the reality of it. But it still, getting up every day and knowing that, I got a chance to actually work and try and be my best at something I love to do. Like, why would you not?
Yeah, exactly. If you love it and you just do it, just make it fun too, right? Yeah, technique. So what kind of techniques can people employ in that arm wrestling?
Well, like I say, hook, top roll, press, kind of the three main ones, lots of side pressure training. I would have to have you come out to the house and I could set you up and show you if you.
I'd love to try sometime. Yeah, like I said, I've been over to Vern's and he's shown me a couple of things. I'd love to come over. Maybe Vern can come and watch or something. Laugh a little more. Let's talk a little bit about those techniques, because I know you had mentioned that the hook, roll, press. What you talked about, kind of how you employ those, but what are they like physically? Like when you're arm wrestling, if you were to say, tell me hook, right, as a coach or whatever, what would I be doing?
Well, you'd be normally pulling more bicep side pressure, but you're supinating down in, right? So like I say, if you're doing that, you're pulling in, dragging down, or if you're doing sideways, lots of side pressure this way, but you're supinating in, cranking in, right?
Oh, so like it's the direction of kind of.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. And then, so hook, roll, is that?
And rolling, like top rolling or posting, would be taking the hand and wrist. So taking this and then driving through another person's hand in order to either break their hand this way and then roll it out like that, right? To get hand control.
Okay.
Because if you can beat the hand, a lot of times you can beat the arm.
That's definitely what Vern did. I remember feeling my wrist open up. Like it was like. Blah.
Yeah, there wasn't many people, like I say, unless you're at like that, the Ingan Terzi level, that had that kind of power to do much with his hand.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that was another thing that was hilarious, embarrassing, but hilarious, was that machine he had. It was like one of those weightlifting machines where you pull the bar and then you see the weights come up, right? And it's that ball and you just pull it down and it lifts the weight up, right?
Yep.
And you just go back and forth. The weights he had on there, like, I pulled this thing and I felt like I could feel a muscle like pulling my chest here and couldn't move it. And then Vern just kind of grabbed it. He's like, oh yeah, let's just bring that, add some more weight to that. And he's just pulling so much weight off of that thing that I couldn't even move. Like I seriously couldn't even move it. And he had bring it. Okay, we'll try you on just like one plate or something. See what.
Yeah, you got to get that movement down, before a guy jumps into something too heavy to hurt yourself,
Yeah, but it's a motion that you're not used to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like if you go to the gym and you're bench pressing, right, you're moving in a straight position like this. There aren't a lot of exercise unless you're doing curls and stuff, but bringing them into your body probably, right?
Yeah, machines are very good for that.
Yeah. How do those workouts in the gym differ for like an arm wrestler?
Well, you build up sport specific, right? Because I mean, it's great to be kind of well rounded. Like I do close grip bench because I like have very decent sized triceps. I like my triceps, and it gives you a lot of power if you are able to crush a guy like that. But you got to be doing sport specific, because if you get to a tournament and your arms aren't doing what they should be, because your body's going to adapt to what you're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if your hands, arms, everything aren't moving the way they should be, all that power is not going to do any good. So you got to be working sport specific in order to get those movements down, right? So you start light and then work your way up, and I mean it does come.
Oh, okay. Last question. I want to know, when you're gripped up and you're ready to start that match and you're just waiting for to hear the go, what's going through your mind when you're looking at your opponent and you feel their grip on you? What are you thinking?
Hopefully get over as fast as I can. Honestly, that's my thing. Is I mean, speed. Get it done as quick as I can. Hopefully, the ready to go is everything is timed right, so it's done and we're done.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. And so that's just go. You're just hoping for that win.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't happen, and you go click,
I could be in a bit of trouble. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that, I mean, like I say, I'm lucky we practice normally every day, because you build up that endurance there too in case you have to, right? But ideally, you want the match to be over as fast as you can.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, Dan, amazing
Thank you very
conversation.
much.
This
Thank
was
you
a
very
really
much.
fun chat.
Nice meeting you.
I'm glad you came in.
Thank you very much for having me.